One of the advantages of getting older is you get to step back from time to time and look at how amazing humanity is. How we can move the ball forward and invent new things and create amazing opportunities for the rest of the world. But there is another side to that, and sometimes you get to see how stupid humanity can be. Now, please don't be offended by the word stupid, but let me just give you an example. 40 years ago, sometime in the 1980s, knowledge work was exploding. People were moving out of the factories en masse and into the office, and we were having to deal with a completely different set of work from working on the factory floor or perhaps working on the farm. We were getting a lot of paperwork. There wasn't the sophisticated computer systems that we have today. We were getting a lot of paperwork coming in and it was piling up, but we faced the same problems that we face today. There's only 24 hours in the day. And of course, on top of that, you've got to have meetings where the leaders and the team can actually give you direction and tell you what they want and so on and so forth. But we managed to solve that problem in the 1980s. People like Stephen Covey and Hiram Smith developed things like the Franklin Planner. We also got the Filofax in the 1980s, and we were able to start managing our time better because ultimately it doesn't really matter how much is coming in. Doesn't matter how big this pile gets, because over here on the time side, it's always fixed. It never changes. It doesn't change for you. It's not going to change for me. It's not going to change for anybody. That is the 24 hours that you get. Now, I don't think any one person or any one system is to blame here. It could be a combination of getting things done, which is all about tasks. And I know some people will argue about that, but it is all about tasks. And it could be agile systems, the agile working systems. I don't know why, or wherefores that we've gone back to creating problems that we'd solved many, many years before. It just probably is just a human thing. But the thing is that within our 24 hours a day, we do need to get sleep. We are human beings. We're not machines. We actually need to sleep, which is a bit inconvenient, I guess, if you want to do lots and lots and lots of work. We also are susceptible to emotional changes. We could have a fight with our partner in the morning. Our kid might be sick. We might be sick. There's a lot of things. Viruses not just affect computers, you know, they also affect us, and it will slow us down because we become sick and it's just very difficult to work. But what I want to do in this video is just take you back to just some of the basic principles that have worked for over half a century. Probably if you include Ivy Lee's method, which was developed in 1918, these systems still work because they're based on reality and they're based on the one constraint we all face every single day. Every day when you start, you have X amount of hours. Now, as I say, you've got to sleep. You need between 6 and 8 hours sleep a day. We need to eat, we need to bathe, we need to just have a rest at some point. But each day is like we have to do a jigsaw puzzle. I think of it in terms of the time or productivity jigsaw puzzle. Over here, we have the fixed time that we have available today. Now let's just take out the fact that we need to sleep, rest, eat, and shower and everything like that, because that's a variable for all of us, but we all need to do it. And then on the other side, we have all the things that we have to do. Now, we've got meetings to attend and we've also got tasks to do. The thing is that this side over here, which is the time side, that can't change. We cannot change that. That's fixed. It's like the jigsaw board that we're working with. So we've got to fit all these little pieces into this board. Now, it doesn't matter if you've got enough space for 50 pieces, but you've got 75 pieces. Well, it doesn't matter because 25 is not going to fit. It's just not going to fit in there. Now, you can fight this, you can do whatever you want, but that's a fight you will lose. It's just a waste of energy. What we have to do is to get really serious about what we put onto our board and then get on and do it. Now, there's a lot of strategies that you can do here. One of the strategies that I do, which is I chunk or I group, or categorize the work that I do because I create content and write books. So I've got a lot of writing, which is part of my work, but I've also got a team that I need to communicate with. So we have team meetings to build in. I've also got my own communications to do because I get a lot of emails that I need to respond to. There's a lot going on in a day, and I need to make sure that I'm spending some time on these categories each day in order just to stay on top of my work, because the work will keep piling up. That's never going to stop. The only constraint I have is my time. How much time can I dedicate to doing this work today? Now, there's no point in getting frustrated about the fact that you've got more to do than time to have. I think everybody in the world actually has that problem. But what we're doing is when we start the day, we just need to look at the calendar and see how many committed appointments that we have. Now, it could be that we've got a team meeting in the morning, we've got a client meeting in the afternoon, and at 4:30 p.m. we've got to pick our kids up from school. That's great, because now we've got some structure in our day. We know we have to attend 2 meetings. We know we need to leave the office at 4 p.m. in order to pick up our kids at 4:30. This is fantastic. Now, you could go a little bit further and say, right, once I've got the kids at home, I'm now going to go and do my exercise. That's great, because that might be a little bit variable because of traffic and so on, but let's just say 5 p.m. you're going to go and do some exercise. Fantastic. You've got some building blocks of your day. You've given yourself some structure in the day. Now, that's what we're playing with. So then when we look back at our task list, the list of tasks that have come in, which are less important than the committed appointments because you can do them at any time in the day. So we can now say, right, of all these tasks, these are the 3 to 4 that are really important. So these are the ones that I'm going to do in these gaps in my calendar. Now, it's up to you how you prevent interruptions. It's up to you how you prevent distractions. There's a lot of strategies out there. I've covered them. You can go on YouTube, or you can just do a search in Google, how to remove distractions. There's a ton of stuff out there. But that's up to you. That's your strategy to come up with. But the critical thing here is that no matter how busy you are, how many things you've got to do, you are always going to be limited by the amount of time you have to do it. And that was the thing that we solved way back in the 1980s and early 90s. Yes, the type of work that comes in has changed. In the past, it was probably letters and faxes and documents and everything like that. We spent more time with our heads buried in paper than looking at screens. However, the fact that the type of work coming in has changed hasn't changed the dynamics of the way that we work, in that we've still got work coming in, whether it's digital or pen or paper. We've still got only this amount of time in which to do our work. So the key here is to make sure that you are allocating enough time to deal with the critical things that you need to get done. That could be, if you're working with projects, it might be spending enough time on project work each day. It could be, if you're in customer service, that you're allocating enough time to be there dealing with the customer issues. It's okay saying, I've got to be on the phone 8 hours a day. Well, how are you going to fix the problems that you're getting on the phone that you cannot fix immediately? You do have to make sure that there is some time protected where you can actually delve a little bit deeper and fix the customer's problems. It's no good saying, I have to be on the phone all day. That's a management issue that you need to go and talk to management, because if you're on the phone all day, like 8 hours of your working day, and you've got this piled up problems that you've got to solve and no time to solve them, it's broken. We cannot manufacture more time. That is the fixed constraint. And if you talk to a designer, they will tell you constraints are fantastic because they actually help you to build much better designs. And it's the same with time. It helps you, that constraint that you have with time helps you to actually build better, more productive days. So productivity is not about doing more and more and more. Productivity is that interaction between stuff coming in and the time that you have. As I say, you're doing a jigsaw puzzle every day. And I love that. I love that every single day I have a jigsaw puzzle to solve. I have to record these videos today so I can get them to my video editor so that she has enough time to be able to edit the videos. I have to do some other work today, which means that I will get that done because I've already allocated time for doing that, as well as eating, exercising, taking my dog for a walk, and going to the studio to continue recording the audiobook of Your Time, Your Way. So the purpose of this video is to encourage you to go back to the solutions that we made in the 1980s and early 1990s. It's not about how much stuff is coming in. That's going to be coming in forever. That will never, ever, ever change. Even when you retire, you will still have stuff to do. This part here is the bit that you cannot control. The bit that you can control is the time side because it's a constraint. It tells you this is how much time you have today, so where are you going to apply your time? That's it. And that's the jigsaw puzzle that you're doing every single day, and it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun if you start appreciating that it is a puzzle that you have to solve every day. Now you want to learn a little bit more about planning the day, which I think is a critical part of becoming more productive and better with your time management. This video up here is the next one to watch.